and contributing to the spirit of community that makes this holiday such a memorable tradition for us all. In our modern world, the term friend is closely associated with social media and computer screens. And as convenient and helpful as Facebook may be, it does not replace friendship in the truest definition of the word. Today, we're celebrating the importance of friendships and the relationships that add to our quality of life. We especially honor a friendship shared by our Grand Marshals, Marge Smith and Marcia Henry, and thank their husbands, Myron Smith and our MC Burke Henry, who share in our celebration. Their 79 years of friendship has included magical times on Madeline Island with their extended families and visitors. Hopefully you've seen the photo of Marge and Marcia in the Gazette that is as relevant today as the day it was taken, with our peaceful surroundings creating opportunity for connection and adventure. You know the old saying, no man is an island? Well, no man is an island, especially on Madeline Island. Our resources are revered and shared. The Madeline Island Transfer Station, also known as the dump, allows for sharing previously used materials and parts that might be needed by another resident. The food pantry at St. John's is a community resource for someone who may have a need if you can't get to the mainland or to help sustain a family. We all depend on each other in a way that may be more apparent here than on mainland, and especially in urban areas of our country where a shared number of individuals makes it easier to compartmentalize one's life to the exclusion of much of your surroundings, including neighbors. Our connectedness is evident even when driving down the street. The island wave, as someone passes in another vehicle, is characteristic of life on Madeline Island. Here's a favorite anecdote to illustrate that point. Following our move here as full-time residents, I returned to the Twin Cities, and while driving a city street, spied a car approaching that looked like an island car, and I felt the urge to give the island wave, which was quickly followed by a voice inside of me that said, "You can't wave here. They'll think you're crazy." But then that was followed by the thought, "Oh, they're so isolated here in the city." It's a profound idea that on this little island, our closeness and understanding of one another, our relationships, and need to cooperate allows for a special kind of intimacy that small town life provides. The separation from the mainland amplifies this connectedness that is a hallmark of this community.
Good morning. When Lois asked me to speak today, I thought I had to think a lot about what our personal relationships are here to this beautiful place. And Lois and I are dear friends. And I got thinking about it, and I realized that 98% of my friendships and their connections stem back to this island. I've been here most of my life. My parents bought property here back in 1960, so I was a summer kid who, well, I just never left. I have two daughters who are third generation in my family to spend time on this beautiful island. But they are first generation islanders. They were born and raised here. And I understand what it means to have a relationship to the people of this community. The island community is made up of a very diverse and vibrant group of people, starting with the arrival of the first Ojibwe people to the French fur traders, the fishing community and farmers of the early 20th century, to the multi-generational group of summer residents and visitors that come to our shores. We are definitely a unique group. Through trials and tribulations, we, the people of Pointe, Madeline Island, are always there for each other, even if we don't always see eye to eye. We know that when the going gets tough, the tough, our neighbors, will always be there for us. Maybe it's the fact that we are an island and, well, we're limited by a very large body of water. But what I personally believe, it's because we have an incredible group of caring individuals who live and work and play and raise their families in a safe and caring environment. Madeline Island, it would seem, is the quintessential American community.
Other essential relationships important to our community are the friends of many nonprofit entities that sustain our creativity, history, education, and services. Our Madeline Island Museum, which we sit in front of today, has blossomed and grown due to the connection and generosity of its many friends on Madeline Island who have carefully cultivated the stories, images, and artifacts of this historic place. The Madeline Island Historic Preservation Association educates visitors about the families and way of life on Madeline Island. Due to the diligence of the friends of the organization, there is now a thoughtfully constructed Veterans Honor Garden. We have community friends who support the arts, whether it be assisting in the expansion of Woods Hall, the many activities, grants, and creative opportunities provided by the Pointe Center, or the musical gifts enhanced at the Madeline Island Music Camp. The Island Association helps with civic gifts, and the Friends of the Madeline Island Library have preserved a location for learning and gathering together. The community garden cultivates food and friends. Madeline Island Wilderness Preserve encourages conservancy of our wilderness areas. Our EMS and community clinic care for our wellness and well-being, and St. John's UCC serves the community beyond its spiritual mission, caring for the whole of our community. Your friendship to our nonprofits ensures that the character and compassion within this community will continue. And we can't talk about compassion without looking at this community as one who embraces its people. When difficult times have descended, causing extreme hardship and heaviness of heart, this community bounces into action like no other I've ever witnessed, providing assistance and care to those in need. The care need not stop for island residents. When Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005, Madeline Island came together to help another island in need, on Dauphin Island in Alabama, to assist them in being able to rebuild their school.
Madeline Island is sacred to the Ojibwe people. Their ancestors migrated from the east to this area centuries ago by way of the St. Lawrence Seaway and the Great Lakes. They were carried by the sacred Miga shell that appeared over the island. They are the first people, the Anishinaabe, the people of Waning, Wanakaning, Manis. Their relationship continues to this day with their land and honoring their ancestors and those that are buried here. They come to do ceremony, bringing their children to honor their people and the relationship they have with their sacred island, with the water, the land, and the creatures that live here. We are all a lake community. Mother Superior dictates our lives daily. Her beauty and unpredictable behavior is what makes us thrive. At times it can be a love-hate relationship, but always there is respect. She is our blood, and that which nourishes us. The nature of Madeline Island is ultimately what brought us all here, and we all stayed because we recognize the sacredness of her shores. It is said by the indigenous people that Madeline Island is the healing island. It is also a women's island. In traditional Ojibwe culture, women are the caretakers of the water. We all must protect the lake and the land and the animals and the people of this sacred place to ensure that it will be here for future generations to enjoy and live and flourish on her shores. We thank you all for being here today. Thank you all for being here today on this beautiful 4th of July, and enjoy the relationship that you have created with Madeline Island, Lake Superior, and all the people who choose to make it their home. Thank you.